Well, one way more and more of you are staying in touch with us is through our video resource website, 100huntley.com. And daily new videos are being added from the content of 100 Huntley Street, as well as other videos produced exclusively for our website. And it's been a few months since I've taken the time to remind you about this with a brief demonstration of the kind of materials we have available for you and how you can easily find what you're looking for and also send it to a friend. So follow with me on a very quick tour, all right? Here's our website, 100huntley.com. Of course, crossroads.ca is our corporate website, which has a lot of links back to this, but 100huntley.com is the video resource website. So you can see all videos. I'm going to go across the tabs at the top. There's interviews, there's reports, music, question and answers, full circle, truth to go, stay in touch, and web exclusives. And then some people ask me, well, how do I see the whole program? I missed today's program and I want to see it from start to finish. Well, you can actually click on that tab there called Full Program, and there you have it. That's probably yesterday's program right there. You can also get guest information and whatever you need. But let's do a little search. Let's say you're saying, well, I remember Jim Candelon just a little while ago interviewed a guy who had an experience of heaven. He was in a plane crash. And so you're saying, well, wonder what that interview is and where I can find it. So a keyword might be heaven. So you go to our little tab there where you can do a search and you can type in heaven. And up pops things dealing with heaven. So you can scroll down until you find it. Well, there it is. Captain Dale Black was the gentleman, and what a powerful story. You could watch that right there online or send it to a friend. And maybe you're saying, well, there was another guy that was on Full Circle, the gentleman that had no arms and no legs, had a powerful story, and I'd love to see that again and maybe share that with a friend too. And so you think, well, how am I going to find it? His name had a really weird name. I don't think I could type that into the search bar. So you think, well, he didn't have any limbs, and his ministry was actually called Life Without Limbs. So let's use that as a keyword, and we'll go limbs into the search bar. And up comes the various clips of him, because all these clips are just short, bite-sized chunks, and so a lot of the interviews might be in 2 or 3 parts. And you can start watching right along, go from part 1 to 2 to 3, and so on. So I've selected just a little clip of that interview, so you can see how you can watch it right online.
That he would forgive me. I've lied once, I'm a liar. I've stolen once, I'm a thief. I've sinned once, I'm a sinner. But now I am free of shackles of sin and guilt and death. Think this is a disability? Death is worse than this. And even if God heals me with arms and legs, still gonna die here. My hope is not here, my hope's up there. So thank God for that hope, that no more tear will dim the eye, all is peace forevermore on that happy golden shore. What a day, what a glorious day that'll be. One of my favorite songs.
What are your...
All right, it's a tremendous interview. You might want to watch that whole thing. But then you're saying, well, I've just got some questions, or I have a friend that's asking some tough questions just about Christianity, about the faith, about God. And so we put together a Q&A session. Now, these aren't necessarily from 100 Huntley Street. We've taped these especially when we've had a guest here. We've sat them down, we've asked them questions, and we put them into our Q&A section, like Ravi Zacharias or George Barna, or a lot of people who have some great answers. And so you can go through and click on any of these. In this particular one, let's take a little listen at the beginning of an answer for Ravi Zacharias about how can God be good and allow evil in the world.
You know, it's, as I said, a very difficult question to answer. Not just the fact of evil, but the size of it, the volume of it, you know. And people actually think that we don't think of these things as Christian apologists. The first thing I would say is to remember what I said earlier, that the question does not actually dislodge God. If anything, it should prove that God actually exists. Otherwise, value and the question disintegrates. You don't ask the question unless you believe in an absolute moral law. And you don't believe in an absolute moral law unless there's an absolute moral lawgiver. So the question is with God in the paradigm, not outside the paradigm. So we take that. The second thing I would say...
Well, you'll have to watch it yourself for the second thing, but he's got some great points there in answer to that. And you'll notice at the bottom, on the bottom right below each of the videos, you'll see our prayer line. And we want you to know that that's always available for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if you happen to send this to a friend, they'll have that available for them as well. Speaking of sending it to a friend, there's a share button right at the bottom of each of these where you can email it, you can post it to your your Facebook site, your wall there, and people can watch it. All your friends can watch it right there if there's a particular video you think that they needs to see. Or you can just click the email button, and then up pops a little to and from. You put in their email address, and you just send that, and the link goes right to them, and when they click on it, it goes to that video that you want them to see, and you can include a little note from yourself. So that's just a bit of a demonstration for you of how you can use 100huntley.com. I encourage you to do it. More Canadians now are spending time online than they do spending time watching television. And so we're there for you. Don't forget that. And if you've already forgotten a lot of this short demonstration, guess what? It'll be available shortly for you to see again on 100huntley.com under the Stay in Touch tab. So God bless you, and yes, do stay in touch.
Now there are even more ways to join the 100 Huntley Street online community. We'd love to hear from you, so stay in touch with us.